and by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host,
Charles Glidden.
Next, we hear from the Family Resource Center about parenting, and later the phones will be open. What do you want to chat about, Cayman? Talk Today's next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. I'm Charles Glidden, and welcome to Talk Today. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Georgetown, a fair weather day. And I hope wherever you are, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, Pennsylvania, Texas, or the UK, that it's a good day or a good evening, as it may happen to be. I hope you're having a good one anyway. And once again, if you usually tune into us via the internet on YouTube or Facebook, no video again today because our studio is not finished with the refurbishment. So I'm still in the control room here with Yannick and surrounded by all the technology here. So only audio on YouTube for now. And hopefully we'll be back in there very soon, and we'll be able to have video online. Well, we've been telling people who ride electric bikes and scooters that they have to get their vehicle registered and insured by, the 16th of January? But according to a news article in the Compass today, now there's some confusion about getting insurance for e-bikes. Yeah. People are having trouble finding an insurance provider to cover their e-bike or e-scooter, whatever. But according to the Compass, the Minister of Planning, Lands, Agriculture and Housing and Infrastructure insisted that insurers do not offer products labeled specifically as e-bikes or e-scooters, e-scooter insurance, and that these initial inquiries can sometimes result in a refusal where a device has not been clearly classified or assessed. The quote from the Compass goes on to say, in practice, insurance is issued on a case-by-case basis under existing motor insurance frameworks in the same way motorcycles and mopeds are insured once the device's specifications are confirmed. That's from the ministry. And the Compass reports that the government went on to insist that several local insurance providers already offer coverage options within this framework. But, people are saying they try to get insurance and they're being told they can't get it because it's not offered for e-bikes. So maybe they're using the wrong terminology. I don't know. Is a electric bike, a scooter, classified as a moped under the Traffic Act? Those e-bikes are, at least most of them, have a motor and pedals. So does motor plus pedals equal a moped? Moped, yeah. And also you need at least a Group 0 license to ride, and a Group 0 is what is required to ride a moped or scooter. All right? So maybe it just comes down to terminology, I don't know. Are you supposed to, when you call the insurance company or go to them, you say, I want to insure a moped instead of saying I want to insure an e-bike? And then maybe if something happens, then they say, oh, you said a moped. You said you wanted to insure a moped, but you're riding an e-bike. Because those insurance companies, boy, they like to pull the details on you. Like, words matter, especially with insurance. But somebody needs to clarify that. The deadline is 8 days away? Somebody say something. I don't know, maybe someone in the ministry or DVDL can give us a call and, give us the lowdown on that situation and what's going on. Wasn't there something years ago when some guy imported an electric vehicle? And this was in the early days of electric vehicles. There was no Tesla or anything like that, But this guy imported this electric vehicle and wanted to license it, and DVDL refused to license the vehicle because they said that the traffic law referred only to a motor car. And a motor car meant an internal combustion engine. It didn't seem to matter that the electric car had an electric motor. So it was an electric motor car. But they said a motor was an internal combustion engine. Oh yes, words do matter. What matters most is who is interpreting those words, especially if that person has some kind of authority or some kind of power, to deny you. Well, maybe we'll get that clear up before the 16th. But we have someone on the line. Well, let's see what this person has on their mind. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Charo.
Hi.
Yes, sir. You're doing a very good job.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for that. Well, sir, I am living in the Newlands area. And believe me to God, that roundabout at the Newlands Trail bypass. Believe me, I was there, and 4 vehicles coming from town going through the roundabout going Bantown. They don't know when to stop, so they are just going, and we wait in the line for about half an hour straight.
Half an hour?
A truck was in front of me, and that truck my right out. And believe me, Charo, the guys them just going around the man, just going around him, and car is coming from the countryside, car piling up from the Bantown here coming on that same road.
So they're not respecting the roundabout at all.
Yes, sir. They're not business with that, sir. So I am saying, if they put the high thing in the road to coming from town, I believe they will slow down and stop. But there is none there. The only one that is there is the one going into new lands. And we have to stop because we're abiding under the rules.
Yeah.
But these little cars just flying. They don't know when and where and how. My God, I'm wondering how they get license to drive, Mr. Charles. I don't know. Or maybe they do right, I don't know, but they're causing. This can cause terrible accidents and death for innocent people.
You know, if they're not using it as a roundabout, yeah, somebody's going to end up in a bad shape.
Yes, sir, because these guys not stopping. These ones are coming from town, going through straight to Bantown. The new road, they don't know the stop. What they mean by slow down or stop.
Well,
I was behind the truck man for about an half an hour. We stand there, move, every push the guy push out, they just spin, go around him. Going over the other side of the road to lick somebody on the other side who are there right away. But we have to wait on them to fly around.
so do you think it's possible that people don't, it's not obvious enough that it's a roundabout?
I don't know, Chalo, but is either we need police, more police down here, sir, or they put a bigger bomb on the side coming from town. Coming from town is the problem. They don't stop.
All right. Well, hopefully someone hears your plea and will
hope that,
try and fix that.
Hope that, sir, because this can cause, you know what that can cause down there?
Well, somebody could get killed.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, and you have a blessed day. Keep up the good work, sir. Bye-bye.
But thank you for the call. You have a good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
We have to be taking a little break here, and when we come back, we'll hear from the Family Resource Center.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And in this segment, we will hear from the Family Resource Center all about their parenting programs that they offer to the public. And joining me now is Anne-Marie Diaz. She's the coordinator at the Family Resource Center. Welcome back and Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
So parenting is a major thing that you do at the Family Resource Center, right? Coaching and parenting?
Yeah, it's not just the major thing we do at our agency. I would say it's the major cornerstone of what makes a healthy, thriving society. So it's really essential what our tiny but mighty team does every day. Absolutely.
What are some of the programs that you have?
Yeah, so we offer parenting programs quarterly throughout the year. And on a daily basis, we offer individualized parent coaching. So we will tailor services to the parent or individual family in front of us, because we recognize that no two families are the same. But there are maybe some themes that you, if you're listening as a parent, you might be experiencing, and you might feel, oh gosh, I must be the only person going through this, or am I the only parent this school is calling? And a great thing about our parenting programs in particular, because they are group-based, parents that take these on, they are alongside their peers, other parents, and they find out, oh, wow, what a relief. I am not the only parent going through these issues. And a lot of times parents don't just leave with these evidence-based tools and information that the parenting practitioner delivers during this program, but they leave with a sense of community, because sometimes parents feel quite isolated in their parenting journey. I must be the only one going through this. I'm too embarrassed to share this with someone or ask if, what they do. I should know, right? We're told that we should just kind of instinctually know what to do. But the truth is we're not given this form of training in school.
Yeah, nobody teaches you
No
how
one
to be a parent.
teaches, right? And so we are either copying what maybe our parents or our grandparents did as they were raising us, which is a great model to start with. But a lot of times, too, parents think, well, maybe my parents raised me perfectly, but I'm raising children in a new age now. My children's needs are very different to what mine were growing up, right? We're raising almost digital children, right? And we have a program that is there for you for that, because this is quite new and nuanced what parents are going through. Or you might have been raised and think, well, yeah, my parents or my grandparents did some great things. I'm going to really, copy and paste. But there's some things that didn't work for me, and I definitely don't want to replicate. And that can be really hard, because a lot of times, and for myself too, like with everything that I know, I sometimes hear certain things come out of my mouth and I go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. And the truth is, we're all human. We all have strengths and areas that we can work on. And our agency is there as a very compassionate team members. We're very empathetic. We're not there to judge parents or to talk down or to say, you know what, you need to be doing this, this, this. We're here to just share the tools, share the science, share the information. And you as the individual who really knows your child or your children best get to decide what that looks like in your own unique family life. And so our parenting programs, several of them are quite easy to or accessible to attend, because they will be virtual lunchtime. So you can simply log in during your lunch hour and tune in. There are some in-person programs, just because of the extent of the information. We want to ensure that parents really absorb it. There is some fun moments where we get to role play, which parents hate, but you really get to practice. Okay, this is what.
Explain the role playing.
Right. So for an example, in our Family Transitions program, which is coming up, that's designed for parents who are going through separation and divorce. And that is an incredibly emotionally draining and challenging period for the parent. And of course, a parent wants to keep things as healthy and low conflict for their child's benefit as possible. But it's incredibly hard to do that, especially when you just are, very quickly triggered and emotionally overwhelmed by something that's happened. So there is opportunities, because in the heat of the moment, you're more likely to just jump and say something impulsive and go, God, I shouldn't have said that. I said that in front of my son. Now what do I do? Now how do I fix it? Because now I feel like I'm the bad guy, right? So we get to practice, how do you handle those moments when you are going to become emotionally flooded and you don't want to say the wrong thing in front of your child and you do want a civil co-parenting partnership? Let's practice how you can handle those moments. And that honestly is golden. It is, these practices are like the closest parents get to that magic wand, right? All parents want a magic wand. If I could just fix this, life would be perfect. But
so
that
you just
practice,
improvise the situation and they react to it? Or?
Well, there is, because everything is curriculum-based, evidence-based. So we literally have the tools. There's a framework we follow. We're not just making this up. But yes, you get to take this framework and put your own unique language to it, right? Because if I say, oh, well, just tell your co-parent this, that might be fine for me and work for me, but that's not in your language. So you get to then take this same framework and make it work for you, because you're an individual at the end of the day.
Now, you said some of these are groups, or you can be individual. Does a person who say, I'm not a group person, they could just come to you and say, I want some individual help?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do get a lot of that. I do really promote the group-based stuff. I know for me, even personally, it can feel, it's vulnerable to walk into a group space with other parents. And I've heard, clients say to me, I feel like I'm admitting like I'm this bad parent and I don't know what I'm doing. And my rebuttal is, you're admitting that you care that much about your family, that you're willing to come into an uncomfortable setting, because guess what? Everybody is uncomfortable, and be vulnerable and do what you have to do for the benefit of your family. And there's so many benefits to doing the group-based, because it's so structured. And you really do benefit from the peers, because you'll hear another parent say something that the practitioner would not have said. So hearing it from another parent who's going through the same thing or very similar situation that you are, it really is golden. It really is money.
And I guess it is comforting also when you learn that you're not alone.
Exactly.
You're not the only one that's in this type of situation.
Yeah, it really is. It really is comforting, because no parent, wants to feel like they're doing this wrong. And so sometimes you can feel that way unintentionally. Maybe the principal or the child's teacher said something and they mean the best, but you're taking that as, oh my gosh, I'm not, I'm not enough, or I'm not doing enough. And that's such a common thing that we hear in our line of work. So there's something really to be said about that group space. It's structured. You know exactly what you're coming into. You're getting that information that you need immediately. Individual works well in the sense that we get to work based on your schedule and be convenient to you and meet you based on that. But what I notice is that, with the individual stuff, sometimes life gets in the way, and it's easier for you to go, you know what, I can't go today. I got to prioritize this meeting, and fair enough. So there is that convenience aspect. But with the group, you can say, okay, I got my 5 weeks, I got my 5 sessions to focus on this, and it's done, and I have the information, and then I can apply as I go. So there's something really to say. There's benefits. There's pros and cons to the both, and you really, as the parent, you have to decide what works best for you, of course, and that's what we're here for. But I think when in doubt, register, and then we can have a chat and just consult with you. And it's always a collaborative effort at the end of the day. So we're here for you, to cater to you. So once you tell us what you want and what you'd like to see, we're going to do our best to provide that for you.
You're saying that a lot of times people just try to model what they saw their parents do, grandparents. But I mean, today, all of that has kind of been thrown aside. Cayman has changed so much in the last generation. The world has changed. With social media, kids are getting all these influences that we never had, even just 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's good to try and see what's what help there is and what advice there is to deal with 2026 teenagers and children.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it is all being pushed aside, and I think that's a positive thing that it isn't, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're a Caymanian or whatever your culture is, and you want to keep that the essence of your culture and your heritage alive in some way, that is important, and your family's memory, you know, your parents, your grandparents' memory, you know, there's nuances to this, of course, right? There's certain things that my grandmother would say that I really want my children to know, but it's good to have as much tools in your parenting toolbox as possible. And so these parenting programs are really there to add, not to diminish or take away anything, but to add, and for you then to say, okay, I have all this information. I have what my parents and my grandparents and my auntie and those did, but I also have all this evidence and this research too. So I'm going to make sure I'm doing this and this. And at the end of the day, you have to be aligned with your personal sense of values too. So, you know, if Granny did something and that is where your values align, you gotta keep true to yourself, because you are also passing on your legacy.
We have to take a little break. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the programs that are being offered at the Family Resource Center. Stay with us.
Cayman, let's talk about your internet and phone service. OFREC has published a draft proposal for new consumer protection regulations, and we want your feedback. The draft regulations propose new rules to modernize the sector, including proposals to limit back billing to 3 months, introduce a 5-day cooling off period for new contracts, and set mandatory timelines for resolving complaints. The draft also proposes extending these protections to small businesses for the first time. But these are just proposals. To ensure the final rules are practical and fair, we need to hear from you. All submissions on this consultation should be made in writing and must be received by 5 p.m. on January 8, 2026 at the latest. For more information, visit ofreg.ky/consultations or email consultations@ofreg.ky. OFREG, working toward a fair and reliable digital economy.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from January 12th to 15th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice.
For more information, email Dr. Porter @gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I'm talking to Anne-Marie Diaz. She's the coordinator at the Family Resource Center, and they have a number of programs that they're offering on parenting. And walk us through what the different programs that you have on hand.
Yeah, sure. So we have several programs starting up. Starting this month, we have the Family Transitions Program, which really caters to those parents going through separation and divorce, or maybe you've been going through that for some time, but you're still noticing there's numerous unresolved conflicts. You're struggling to communicate effectively. You feel like your children continue to be stuck in the middle of issues. This would be a great program for you. Easily accessible. It's an evening program. You walk away with workbooks, loads of information, and parents who finish, they give feedback saying they feel confident, they feel empowered. We have a lot of fathers and mothers attend this program. It's not necessarily designed for two persons who are actively in a divorce or separation to attend together. If you're amicable enough, you don't necessarily need this program, right? So what we'd recommend is, if you're willing to do this together, you can have one attend the group and the other attend individual if you'd like to get it done at the same time. But of course, and of course, it's more effective if both parties attend and complete the program, but it's not essential.
But do both partners attend a group session together, or
No,
you don't like to do that?
We would advise, it's likely to not be helpful, but we do encourage you to practice being civil. So there have been exceptions where both parents have said, no, we understand and we're happy to proceed with the group together, which is great practice, because if you can sit through a group like this and be uncomfortable together and practice good communication skills in that group, then that's great practice. But typically, because this is a program that comes from the Triple P model, they let us know as an affiliate that this is not advised.
What is that?
Triple P is the Positive Parenting Program. It's backed by 40 plus years of research and evidence and trials. It's curriculum based, so we essentially pay to offer this service, and we provide the assessments and the workbooks that come with it, and the presentations. So all practitioners that offer this, they are fully trained and accredited in this program. But all or most, I would say, of our programs are actually accredited with Triple P, or they're accredited with CDI. Specifically, that would be our SNAP program. So that's one of our major programs starting up, and we highly recommend it. Parents who complete it, they might not be super eager to start it, but I can tell you when they finish and they walk away, they feel empowered with the information and a lot more confident to handle a lot of issues that might be taking place, which it all really boils down to communication and managing the challenging period that divorce and separation can present. We do also have Parenting the Digitally Safe Teen, which is a virtual 4-week lunchtime service where we walk parents through using a lot of the Monique Burr Foundation material, which again, evidence-based. It really just walks parents through understanding what is going on, because sometimes we don't know. And a teen has been allowed to just be on the phone and kind of do whatever, and we don't even have a good understanding of what's going on there and how it's impacting their brain and their development and all of that. So we share a lot of those that key information. So then parents, again, can make informed decisions about the rules of the home and how to conduct and consequence and positively reinforce behaviors also. A brand new program we're starting in February, which we're quite excited about, does fall under the Triple P suite of programs. It's called Fearless, and that focuses on parenting children who have anxiety or anxious behaviors. Parents will walk away knowing how to manage their own anxious behaviors, which we all experience anxiety, and be able to support their child who's experiencing anxious thoughts and emotions. So that's quite an exciting one. And we do believe should be popular because parents do report to us, and is a reason we're offering this program, that many clients report to us as an area that they're struggling with, struggling to manage. So this is something that's available. This is group-based, starting in February. And just like all our programs, this can also be delivered on an individual basis. But again, as I said earlier, the group-based is really valuable, and you're not going to get the same experience you get in the group if you do complete this on an individual basis. And we have also a ongoing cohort of the Understanding ADHD workshop, which is virtual. Parents are either, if they've just recently had their child diagnosed, or they suspect, or they've been, kind of maybe told by an educator that, it'd be good to get your child on the wait list for a psychological education psychology assessment. this would be a good one. And it's just good information. We actually have professionals that attend this one just to understand ADHD a bit more. How does it look? What are ways or strategies as a parent that I can employ to support my child that might have ADHD? So that's a really good one. And again, great evaluations we get from parents saying that, this, and a lot of our programs, parents will say that this has been life-changing, and they've implemented the strategies that have been suggested, and they've noticed a change. And then I would say our biggest program, in the sense that it's our most comprehensive program, it's 13 sessions long. It's family-based, meaning the parents and the children attend. Parents are receiving the skills during SNAP, so Stop Now and Plan, and the children are learning skills and practicing in role play too. So it's theory and practical. And SNAP is all about understanding self-regulation, so being able to parent from a place of control, as well as learning lots of different parenting strategies to support their child who might be getting in trouble quite a lot at home, getting in trouble. Maybe this is, SNAP is really designed for those children that you're maybe getting a lot of calls from the school. You're being called into the principal's office to meet with them on a regular basis. That might be an indicator that SNAP could be really useful.
What does SNAP stand for?
SNAP stands for Stop Now and Plan. It is a proven model that comes from the Child Development Institute in Canada, and our team, it takes quite a large amount of our team, which is already small. So pretty much it's all hands on deck when we deliver this service. And children who are, just experiencing big emotions, they're getting into trouble quite a lot. Maybe they're impulsive. Maybe they have a diagnosis of ADHD, or oppositional disorder, defiance disorder is sometimes quite common.
Is this the kind of child that people used to call a problem child?
Yes, a lot of times our SNAP children get pigeonholed, they get labeled, and definitely our perspective at SNAP is that there's no such thing as bad kids. Mm-hmm. They just need the skills to communicate in the best way and to problem solve to keep themselves out of trouble, or to, as we say in SNAP, keep problems small. So rather than things snowballing and constantly being sent to the principal's office and maybe even getting suspended or excluded from school, and of course parents not necessarily enjoying the parenting journey, we don't want that. We want parents enjoying their children, and we want children feeling successful and good about school and good about their parents and their family life. And so SNAP really does a lot to support parents and their children with that.
So do you more or less help parents to understand the root cause of what's going on with their child?
They definitely receive a lot of information in SNAP, and yeah, that is a big part of it, I would say. They walk away with a different mindset and a different perspective a lot of the time, especially if they complete it and they've been applying the strategies. They definitely walk away with a different mindset. And a lot of times it's, the whole adage, you don't know until you know. Sometimes we're an autopilot going through life, and parents, we're no different. And sometimes we just employ the same thing over and over. And like what we were saying earlier, sometimes we just practice what our parents did. And maybe that worked for us, or maybe it didn't. But sometimes our children need something else. And a lot of times they need us to respond from a place of control and respond consistently with a specific parenting plan. And at the same time, remain flexible and creative, because in the heat of the moment, you might be employing the same strategy consistently, but in this moment, your child needs something else. So, and you might not know that when you're just kind of doing the same thing that's not necessarily making the issues go away and might even be exacerbating things.
So how do people sign up for these different programs that you have?
Yeah, our flyers are going around. There's QR codes on those, but just reach out to us at frc@gov.ky and we can connect you. But if you go onto our website also, frc.gov.ky, and go to our registration link, you can register yourself and we can intake you very quickly over the phone or invite you in for an appointment. With SNAP, you will be invited to an appointment, definitely. There is quite a thorough screening process because we want to make sure that SNAP is the right fit for you and your family. And if it isn't suitable, we'll point you in another direction. We are the resource center for a reason too. So if even our agency isn't necessarily what your family might benefit most from, we might connect you with our sister agency, the Counseling
Information, entertainment.
For example. So anyways, we're here for you and you can reach out to us. I think that's the hardest thing that a parent has to do.
That first step.
Yeah, that first step. And I definitely empathize, as a parent myself. It's not easy. And you're busy, right? You got a lot. And sometimes you're just, if I just keep going, everything will be okay. But honestly, once you take that first step and you get some information in your hands, you'll be amazed where it will really improve your life.
Okay, you said you could stay a little longer with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, happy to.
Don't go away then.
Okay.
It's 1:00. Let's see what's making headlines.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. John Gray High School is gearing up for its annual career fair, set for Friday, February 27th at the school's gymnasium. The event runs from 8:30 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. as part of Career Week activities. The fair will give Year 9, 10, and 11 students a chance to connect directly with local companies and professionals, exploring career paths and learning what qualifications they'll need for future opportunities. Organizers say it's all about inspiring students to start shaping their career goals early. In international news, according to the BBC, protests are growing in Minneapolis after 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed by a U.S. immigration agent on Wednesday. Federal officials, including Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, says the ICE officer fired in self-defense and called Good's actions a, quote, act of domestic terrorism, claiming she tried to weaponize her car. Local leaders and eyewitnesses dispute that, and Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has pulled out of the case, accusing the FBI of blocking access to key evidence. Campaigners say UK ministers are dragging their feet on a new law that would criminalize creating or requesting non-consensual sexualized deepfakes amid growing abuse using Elon Musk's Grok AI on X. Sir Keir Starmer has condemned the sexualized images generated by Grok as, quote, disgraceful and, quote, disgusting, while Ofcom and ministers press X and XAI to act. Existing rules already ban sharing intimate deepfake images without consent, but the new offense aimed at those who generate or commission them is still not in force, which women's groups warn is leaving victims exposed. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
The first settlers to the Cayman Islands came from Jamaica in between 1661 to 1671 to Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. On the 14th of April, 1669, the Spanish privateer Riviero Pardal completed a successful raid on the village of Little Cayman. In the process of the raid, the force burnt 22 dwellings to the ground. These first settlements were abandoned after attacks by Spanish privateers, but English privateers often used the Cayman Islands as a base, and in the 18th century they became an increasingly popular hideout for pirates, even after the end of legitimate privateering in 1730.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today, and let's take a quick look at the weather here. Current conditions, 81 degrees here in Georgetown, feels like 86 degrees. The winds out of the east-northeast at 10 knots, humidity 77%, and the forecast for today and into the night, fair weather. We've got fair skies, fair weather, nice time out there. And the forecast for the winds east to northeast 10 to 15 knots, and seas running at 3 to 5 feet. And that's the current weather information for you. And Anne-Marie Diaz of the Family Resource Center, she's the coordinator there. She is still with me. And the numbers to call if you have a question for her, 1-800-534-8255. That's toll free, courtesy of Flo. And you can also call us on 949-8037. And is our WhatsApp back in action? Our WhatsApp is back in action. So the WhatsApp number is 925-3261. Give us a call, leave us a message, and we can chat. And I think we do have someone already on the line.
Nice.
Good afternoon. You're on the Air Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Charlotte. I didn't know if it was on or not. Keep hearing some kind of buzzing here. Good afternoon to that wonderful lady there.
Oh, thank you, sir. Good afternoon and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. I just wondered there might be, I know there are probably quite a few young mothers with, single parenting and so forth, and they mightn't have enough help, say, from parents or grandparents for whatever reason. Might be quite understandable reasons, not just neglectful things. And I'm sure this is very helpful to them, because there may be times when they're doubtful about their ability to raise a child. They might be exasperated, they might be frustrated, stressed out, or whatever, because many, we know, they're not getting much help from the father of the child, or you know, emotionally or financially and so forth. And there's a worrisome idea they've got to work. They might be very young too. School age and so forth, mothers, and I'm imagine this is a great help to them. You know, I really believe the government is on spending money on this kind of thing. You know, instead of worrying about land crabs and red shanks and black crabs and East End and stuff like that, throw away money on. But I'm just tossing that in there but I just thought about that. And, you know, it just brings something. We often call animals dumb creatures and so forth. Yet we notice how animals raise their young. And the intelligence that they have is remarkable, and raising them properly. And often we say dumb animals, but you look at cats raising their kittens, and they protect them and keep and knowing when to move them and stuff like this. And hens, their chickens, you know, I guess you could learn a lot from them. But anyhow, I just thought I would talk about that, you know, mention it with young mothers in particular needing help to you know, emotionally and to give them the right perspective, as Chalo was saying, what we used to call a problem child and things like that. Nowadays, it's different terminology. But, you know, we have realized through research, like you have said, a lot of research gone into this, can show different ways of helping and looking at problems and stuff like that. I'm really pleased with something like this, and I just wanted to say that. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a very good day.
Thank you, sir. You
All
as
right,
well.
thanks for the call.
Um,
Do you get single parents?
Yeah, I'd love to comment on that. Thank you, caller. That was really, we really appreciate. Oh, it sounds like there's another caller coming in.
Go ahead, but answer him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd really appreciate commenting on, yes, you bring up a great point about young parents, and this is a demographic that definitely needs unique support, as you mentioned. And so because of that, we actually have a very comprehensive program for young mothers who are maybe not working, they're maybe wanting to go back to school or get back into or start employment. And we support them with not just the nurturing parenting skills that we all need when we're raising our children, but also employability skills. We expose them to various guest speakers and resources in our community that they may not have otherwise known about or been exposed to, and as well as a special group that focuses on their internal world, because we are our best parent when we are emotionally well and taking care of ourselves, which is incredibly challenging. And so there's a special group specific for that. If a young parent is working and they cannot attend our program, we offer individualized services to them too, and to the fathers. This is not a mother-only thing, but as the caller mentioned, he was commenting on single mothers, and so we have a specific program for them. And you made mention to government funding. This is a government agency. All of our services are provided free to every resident of the Cayman Islands that has a hand in raising children, courtesy of the Cayman Islands government. But absolutely, more funding means more support, larger teams. We're definitely quite flexible and strategic in how we use the resources available to us. And something I'd really love us to do more so, and is definitely a goal of mine and our team, is to be a lot more present in the community. We don't expect people to just come to us in our office. And that is something we already offer, but I think that is a big aim of mine, to be out there even more so.
And we do have another caller. Oh, that one's gone.
Oh.
All of these things are free, right?
Absolutely. We charge nothing. These are expensive programs in the sense that the resources that it takes to train our staff, to purchase the books and the resources, and these are world-renowned programs.
And you were saying earlier that you have to pay to be licensed to present these.
Exactly. So there is absolutely a cost incurred to the government, but the government cares that much about families that this is offered completely free. And you don't have to be a biological parent. You could be a step parent. You could be a grandparent. You could be the uncle, but you are having a significant influence and actively raising a child. We're here for you.
We do have a WhatsApp caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, are you there? Hello? Maybe our WhatsApp is not working. Okay, I guess we lost that WhatsApp connection there. It's amazing, the effect that parenting, good or bad, has on a child, and how long into life they carry that. I mean, I've heard, grown people lament how they wished, things could have been better, or something that some practice that their parent had that they now realize was not good for them.
Absolutely.
And I'm talking about people in their 40s and 50s that they still carry that.
Oh, yeah. The past is never the past. The past is with us. And definitely, like you said, no matter how old you go back to that place, your childhood is so formative to your development. And if listeners want to do this, Google adverse childhood experiences and take that very short quiz. And if you score 4 or higher, you should be paying quite close attention to your health, because what research shows, the more adverse childhood experiences we've been exposed to, and this is not to demonize our parents in any respect, because a lot of it could be circumstantial. And
sometimes they thought that was the right thing to do.
Absolutely, right. And so, but now we're learned maybe this is adverse, right? So there are things like your mother struggling with mental health, exposure to domestic violence, even when you were in your mother's womb, is counted as an adverse childhood experience, because your mother absorbed potential physical harm, which may have impacted you, or stress hormones that went into your body. And we know that trauma lives in our DNA. So even if you didn't visibly see things, you may have been exposed because it lives in your DNA generationally, right? So even if your grandparents had significant traumatic experiences, that could be. So if you look up adverse childhood experiences, you take that and you note this has reputable or significant, impact on your health, to the point that if it's quite high and you aren't seeking the right interventions to almost repair the damage, that there are very high chances of disease, not just mental, but physical, heart disease, and things like that, issues at work, that's almost proven, and early death. So parenting is essential. And you said, good or bad parenting. The truth is, all of us, including myself, are not perfect people. So we are going to make mistakes. And actually, when we make the mistake, that repair that you do with your child to say, Mommy, sorry, that is not what I stand for. I should not have spoken to you like that. Let me try again. That repair is actually, in some instances, even more important than making the right choice, because our children also need to see that we are human and we make mistakes, and we have to hold ourselves accountable and correct our mistakes, because they too are making mistakes regularly, and this is how we learn, right? So those moments are actually really important too.
I guess it also demonstrates how much the parent cares about the connection with their child.
Yes, you care enough to get off your parental ego bicycle there and say, oof, yeah, that wasn't a good choice. I was wrong. That's so powerful for children. Yeah.
Now, one of the courses that you have here, or the programs, is parenting the digitally safe teen.
Mm-hmm.
The internet changes so fast.
Yeah.
You know, I remember at one point I thought I was pretty hip to it. And
I know.
The next thing you know,
I'm getting older too.
Your phone gets update and it doesn't even look the same anymore.
I know. It's like, what
it
happened?
It does things it didn't do last week.
Yeah, exactly. And
do you get into that with parents about trying to keep up with? Because the kid is up with it.
Yeah.
The kid is up to date.
Yeah, I think.
But is the parent up to date with it? Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, is educating yourself. Just a quick tip too, whether you attend the Parenting the Digitally Safe Teen workshop or not, I highly recommend you go on to commonsensemedia.org. It is an incredible resource in and of itself. Because if you don't know what Fortnite is and you don't understand Snapchat and WhatsApp and TikTok and what's going on there, this site takes you through in a very, really holds your hand through these things. So you walk away reading the article and reviewing the information, having a better understanding of this is what it is and this is potentially how my child is using it. And with that information, you get to decide, actually, this is not an app or a game or a TV show that I want my child exposed to. And so then that potentially there's some rules or some limitations that might need to be introduced. I think the most common thing we notice is that parents assume that they're safe because they're not being physically harmed in that moment. And we use it as a babysitter to a certain extent, right? But the truth is, it is not a safe platform, and there are dangers. And it's important not only that the parent is educated or educating themselves, but they're able to articulate and to support their child in becoming what we call a digital citizen. Right? We're no longer interacting with peers just face to face, adults too, but children very much included. And teenagers, that developmental stage, their peers are essential. It is completely developmentally appropriate that their peers are so important. Their peers are on their phone. Their peers are on WhatsApp. Their peers are in the video games, right? So how do you not, harm your child's social life, but still have parameters and still educate and support them to make the right choices for them, because you're not always going to be there too. So you want to be able to feel that your teen is confident and understanding of what they're doing and making the right choices, so that once they're an adult, they are continuing to practice safely, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing, right? We're raising them to be fully functioning adults, so they're not calling us for anything, right? So definitely take the time now. And I think parents raising teens, it's such a tricky developmental stage normally, and now you have social media and all of these things that a parent has to contend with, that really impacts on a teens, as we know, their mental health and well-being.
How does this program, or I don't know if it addresses it, but
Mm-hmm.
the parent taking a look at the phone every so often?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's important that you have what we call a family media plan, that there is it's talked about, not something that's just assumed that and the child is just on the phone and they're doing whatever, but that there is a family consensus about the way in which we engage online. And there is, of course, an element of trust, but we can't have trust if we're not talking about these things.
You hear the argument about you're invading the child's privacy. I've always thought, well, as long as you're a child, you don't have any privacy from the parent.
Yeah, this is the thing. You have to keep your children safe. And if that means that there's some privacy breach there, that. But the thing is, it's a case by case also, because if a parent, is already having quite a challenging relationship with their teen, and then there's this sudden lock off from everything, like I'm pulling out the internet and you're never, you're grounded for life type of thing. That has impact on your relationship. And you now wanting to potentially support them in engaging in a healthy way online or on their phone is not necessarily going to be received well, because they're going to be looking at you like, you're the same person that just took everything away from me, and my social life is now impacted, and now I'm getting bullied at school, and they're potentially blaming you. And that's just an example of what could happen. But it's important that your relationship with your child is number one. No matter what parenting strategies and skills and websites we throw at you, you focusing on having a good relationship with your child is essential. And so you should, or the aim would be that your teen wants to come to you and talk to you and say, Mommy, look at this. Look at what message I just got. What do I do? Daddy, I don't know how to handle this. That's the kind of relationship you want. You don't want to be thinking, gosh, they're always locked up in their room and I don't even know what they're doing and I don't even know who they are anymore. Mm-hmm. So that relationship you have with them, you're sitting down, you're playing dominoes with them, you're asking how their best friend is doing, because that is who is the most important person in their life, right? And even getting best friend to come on outings, getting to know their parents.
That's a kind of ideal.
That's the ideal, and
relationship. Not just a kid comes to you and says, "Look at this message. What?
Yeah.
Do you think?"
What do I do? Like, they're coming to you to help problem solve, rather than them feeling like, I can't tell my mom. I can't tell dad this because they're gonna blow up and I'm gonna get grounded for life. You want the kind of relationship that they're open, and that doesn't rely on our teen. That relies on us putting in that constant, consistent quality time. And parents who are busy working, they might feel, gosh, but I'm so overwhelmed and my teenager doesn't want to talk to me. Like, I'm trying, but they don't want to talk to me. Find out what they are interested in, or if you notice they really love to play basketball, go play basketball with them. If they really love Fortnite, play Fortnite with them, honestly. And parents might not, I don't want to do that, or I don't know how to play those things. I don't know how to do those things. Getting uncomfortable shows your child, your teen, my mom, my dad, they really care about me enough to look a fool, right? So show that you care, spend time focused on the relationship, and then you can get to all the other stuff, because your child is going to listen to you when they know you care.
Well, let's do a little recap here of the program.
It's a lot.
Yeah. We got a few minutes to go before the break. So let's just recap for people who may have missed it at the top of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming here from the Family Resource Center, loads of parenting programs starting up as of this month. And of course, ongoing throughout the year also. We have some short, quick lunchtime programs you can attend, including Understanding ADHD or Parenting the Digitally Safe Teen. or you can come to in-person evening programs that are focused on various different family dynamics, including parents who are going through separation and divorce, coming to family transitions. That's our first parenting program starting up. Very advantageous to attend a group and to learn more and to feel not so alone in everything you might be experiencing and going through. Fearless is a brand new parenting program, all about parents who are raising children that might have anxiety or anxious behaviors. And of course, it's a human thing, so we're all going through that. And so it can't hurt to attend that group, definitely. And then our most comprehensive program, which is Stop Now and Plan, also known as SNAP, is starting this month. And that is a family-based program. So parents are welcome as well as their children, and both are learning skills in separate groups, all towards making family life easier, supporting children and their academic success and their behavioral success. So we definitely encourage families to connect with us. And when in doubt, reach out. That's what I say. When in doubt, reach out. You know, is this an agency that's for me and for my family? Could it help? It doesn't hurt to connect and try it out and have a call with myself or my colleagues. And yeah, you never know. I mean, I even started before I started working. I actually attended one of the Family Resource Center's services, and I thought, oh, this is really great. I wanted to even be a part of the team, and became a part of the team. So you never know. Yeah.
And how do people reach you or sign up for these programs? FRC@gov.ky is a great way to start through our email. I have direct oversight of that. Or you can go to our website, frc.gov.ky, and register yourself. And we're very active on Instagram, Facebook. We also have a WhatsApp channel, which we keep updated with all our upcoming either programs, or we have our public awareness campaigns throughout the year also. So it's great to be a part of, whether you're a parent, professional, both, and you want to stay up to date with what's going on with our agency. Anne-Marie Diaz, coordinator at the Family Resource Center. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Glidden.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. I'll be right back.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
If you're riding an e-bike or scooter, the rules of the road apply. These devices are treated the same as motor vehicles. You must be at least 17 years old, hold a valid Category 0 or Category 2 driver's license, and your device must be registered, licensed, and insured. You must obey traffic signals, road signs, and road markings, and operate only where permitted by law. These are existing legal requirements. Enforcement begins 16 January.
For details, contact DVDL at www.dvdl.gov.ky.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hello. Tune in to Breeze Radio for a special Yesteryear Musical for January the 10th, 2026. Your Yesteryear Musical, entertaining, enlightening, inspirational, topically current, and always CI sensitive. Saturday, 7 p.m. on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday, 7 p.m. on Breeze Radio.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, K-Man?
Welcome back. And for the rest of the show, what, we got an hour to go? Just a little bit under an hour. We're going to be freestyling here. You can give me a ring and talk about what's on your mind. You want to bring something to our attention, maybe pass on a good word. And we do have someone on the line right now. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yes, Chalo.
Yes.
I was just listening to that program, man. I had one call in, but I decided to just listen to it, Hear the woman out.
Yeah.
And then my brethren, Nicky Hurston. I know he don't remember me, but I remember him. He always got some comedy, Yeah, when he was talking about them black crabs and red chains up in East End.
Spending money on them?
I was just hoping that it really do happen to them East Enders like what happened coming back that time, And they wake up and find all the homes were covered with red chains.
What?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. That happened up in Cameron Black, man. They wake up one morning and find all the homes were covered with red shanks, man. They were on their way to spawn,
And they climbed up the walls of the house?
Yeah, all the homes were covered.
Yeah. I guess they got lost on the way to the sea.
Well, something happened to them, but that happened, man. That was real true, Yeah, Charles said the girl there sounds like they got some good programs out there.
They do.
And but I guess too, Charles, it all depends on the people, parents and things, who really need it. I went through those things one time, Charles, and today, don't care what I do or sometimes how I think. At my age, it just still comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, what I grew up in, the kind of home that I grew up in. You understand? And when I tried to start a family in my life, it's only today that I'm older that I realize I never really had anything to work with, because it has to come from the home for children to go on their own and start relationships and things like that and be successful. If they never see that when they were growing up, then that's a problem. Because even at my age today, Chalo, I still feel the pain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that, the things that happen to us with our parents as children, that lasts for a long time, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Chalo, for one reason, I don't like television, because when you find yourself eating food and things in front of the TV, you're getting in trouble with it, All this is addiction too,
Yeah.
But when I'm
people who are addicted to food, for sure.
But it's okay. It's better than being addicted to alcohol. What I was saying, Jallo, when I'm looking at a good world-class cricket match or a good world-class football game, it's happiness to me as well, because it takes me right off the street.
Yeah.
It distracts me from the past, and that's good. You understand? But when my mind is resting, at times the past pops up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to quickly get rid of it. It's a good thing that I learned that along the way, how to...
You don't want no movies that remind you of anything.
Shut it out quickly. Yeah?
I say you don't want to watch any movies that will remind you of anything.
No, I whatever I watch on my TV, man, some good stuff, man. Let me tell you, at times it's about parenting and medicals and things, so besides my sports So, but like I said, Chalo, I think today is really when things like that happen in families, man, that and then you got to get a divorce and things like that, and the youth, it will hurt them,
Oh yeah. Well, some children, they take divorce badly. I mean, some kids have a lot of trouble dealing with their parents separating.
Yeah, but I tell you, back in 1975, Chalo, I wish that I never had made that choice. I really wish so, because today I suffer some pain, all connected to that, right? And I know that this pain, I'm taking this to my grave with me. It ain't no way or nothing I can do to really get rid of that pain. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I put it in the bill, the final bill I have to pay. Like we talked about it yesterday. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Nobody ain't gonna pay that bill for you. You gonna have to pay that bill. So it is what it is, man. So have a good evening, my brother. Later.
You too. Good to hear from you. Yeah, parenting is something that forms the person that we become. In many instances, a lot of times people can override it and become a better person than what they had been, I guess, molded to be, or they put the trauma that they may have experienced behind them and overcome that. But, it's always there in the recesses of our mind, right? And it just depends on the individual whether they just put that behind them and move on and strive to do, positive things and live a positive life, or whether they allow it to drag them down. If you got something to chat about, please give us a call. And we do have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Charles. You again?
Yeah.
And yes, Robert there, and
he said you wouldn't remember him.
I remember a lot of people, a lot about people, and so forth. But when he sees me, he can let me know if I remember him or not. That's the important thing. I deal with faces, names I forget until I see the face again. And there are certain names that stick with you forever, of course. And memories are a thing that you try to, that's life is a series of memories. You try to remember the best ones. There really is nothing else more to life. Whether you're a Christian person, believe, ways of Christianity, which all of us were raised up in that way. And, a Christian way, or whether you don't want to believe in a God, which there are very few people here I've met who are atheists. Don't know how you can end up that way, but I guess you can. That it's a series of memories. You try to remember the very best ones. I'm glad that my childhood memories, his family, mother and father, siblings, 10 of us, was a very good one, I have to say. We're not wealthy or anything like that, but we're never wanting.
But, even if you're not wealthy, parents can create good memories.
Right. Good memories. That's right. I'm saying, and most of us had this. Yes, there were the odd few, like Robert was saying himself, that was bad. And you try to get away from those memories, not carry them all your life as a burden. And,
yeah.
I don't know, but that's the way I would deal with that. We're talking about the red shanks. He's right. I have plenty of them. And I don't see why they're saying there's a dearth of them, or they're becoming extinct or something like that. I don't know why we say these things. We need to talk to Caymanians, people who come here to live and become experts, and become heads of departments, etc., etc. No, not blaming or trying to, deride anyone. But you need to talk to people before they make suggestions on serious issues. And black crabs and stuff, we always had them in East End mostly. We know that. And many of them, and if we're going to talk about building some kind of way for them get to see and spending money and all that, to me, that's bunkum. They'll take care of themselves, as they always have. And Caymanians never sat down and worried about that. Oh, what we're going to do with the black crabs or the land crabs or so forth. Good God, they'll help and take care of themselves.
But haven't some of their breeding grounds and stuff been taken away?
Yes, I guess so, because of development.
Mm-hmm.
We need money for the people to develop, that's what we're saying. And if we had cool down things and stop things, as it was before, but greed, it's taken over and we can't turn back the clock now at all. We have to keep it going. As Miss Lorna Bush was saying this morning on the radio there to OC, there are people earning tremendous sums of money have come here and become and learned here to make the kind of money that they're making. Tremendous. So when we talk about cost of living, it's not expensive at all for them. It's very cheap. It's expensive for others who are not making that kind of money. When they're talking about raising the minimum wage and the fear of it, repercussions, yes, because we have no control over what the people want to make as profits and no reporting to the government of what they have made and what so forth. But that's for another time to discuss that, as I've often said. But we're talking about the booby birds and stuff. I know they're well-intentioned with this, but good God, we never worried about those things. How many Caymanians got up on years? Oh, my God, the poor booby birds, the cats are eating up their eggs. They said the man-of-war birds eat up their eggs and kill the young booby birds, too. But
in the past, there really wasn't a reason to worry about those kind of things because they were just part of our environment, right?
Yes, and they took care of themselves.
Yeah. But do you think we should take steps to protect them in a modern Cayman where every piece of land is being used up and even the mangroves are disappearing?
You're going to have to fence it around there, but because we're using up the land space, it's our fault. The people who are buying and selling the land and so forth, there are repercussions and a cost, a price to pay for everything. Remember what I was talking about when we changed our way of living? Did we think we weren't going to pay a price for it?
No.
Handing all this big money for people and thinking that it didn't come at a price? No. We changed our whole system of economy completely. It comes at a price. I remember when my father was asked by the government here in Jamaica, and he took many companions with him, to call the booby birds out on the Keys where the fishermen were, the big fishing industry they have there, the Pedro Keys, and so and he brought in 20,000 dozen booby eggs. Always they were on sale in Jamaica. Everybody used to buy booby eggs at lunchtime. It was a great delicacy, and it was a good thing, good feeling. And it was still probably being sold here. I don't know. I'm talking about 60 odd years ago. And he did that. And the sellers of booby eggs, they were very glad for that and so forth. My father built the crates himself that he brought them in. And this shows you that they're always there, and they're plentiful, and they'll take care of themselves. They have adversaries, like I said, the frigate birds, man-of-war birds, we call them, are huge enemies of them also. But we can't eliminate those. We're not going to eradicate them. As I said, they're going to eliminate all the cats in Little Cayman and so forth. You got to think about people who have cats. Cats are animals. Anybody knows who have ever raised cats or have cats. That they're going to go outside, they're going to roam, and they climb trees. They're natural predators. And they will go out there. Are we going to watch a child's cat that somebody's going to come by with a new rifle and shoot them, and they see that? How will they feel? You understand what I'm saying? There are repercussions to everything. We've got to think carefully before we go out and do these kinds of things. And what is the benefit to the average Caymanian, really? Because if you're not doing something, as Ms. Law saying, or if something does not benefit Caymanians, what is the point of it? We can have all the captive insurance we want. We can have all these big trust companies. We can have everything here. What is the benefit to Caymanians? We've got to think about these things seriously.
Well, hopefully, if you have those kind of things, that Caymanians are able to have employment in those areas.
Yes, but not only employment in it, but what does it benefit the ordinary Caymanian who's paying high insurance rates and stuff like that? Cost of living is not high to a person earning $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month at all. It's very acceptable and very reasonable. So when we say cost of living to whom? This is it. We have to qualify those things.
Yeah, well, of course, it's always the average person who feels that hit, right?
Yeah. When we compare,
it's always the average person that's under the pressure of inflation.
Sure, when we compare the minimum wage here to other places in the Caribbean, we've got to understand, we've got to into U.S. dollars and realize many of those countries, their money is worth much, much, much less than ours in U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
So
well, a lot of I was just reading something that for the first time now, you know that in America you have the federal minimum wage, which is like $7 and something cents, but now there are more states that are at about $15 an hour.
Yes,
than the states that just use the federal $7. So that's, you talk about inflation and you know the cost of living. They see that $15 an hour is their minimum wage in many states.
Yes, but they're not bound to accept the federal rate. That's
no. But the states are right. A lot of the states are at $15.
Yes, California is one for many, many years. This is what I'm saying with comparing us and saying we are one of the highest. If you were to convert their money, these other countries around us in the Caribbean, into U.S. dollars, what they make, and then take it as a ratio of that in U.S. dollars, what they get from it, you may find if we was to take the same thing and do it in U.S. dollars, they may actually be earning more as a ratio to what they earn. This is what I'm saying now. When we say minimum wage, which we are at a higher rate, we've got to do these things in ratios to compare it. Bermuda has long been, they're the only country really that we can compare ourselves to. They're in the same business as we are, handling big monies for big people, different companies, and different billionaires and trillionaires. And they have the same kind of economy in that financial world. Yet their minimum wage, I believe, it's long been at $12.50 US. You know, they're dollar for dollar. Here they are with the US. So that's 10 CI dollars. Yeah. But we are quibbling and worrying about the $8.75. I mean, this is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, that's not going to make you. That's not going to make you a millionaire. $8.75 an hour. I mean, that's
no, it's not going to, and it's not going to have any big effect really on the people. They'll always cry and bawl and say we're not making enough, even though they're these are people who are making out of their business probably $5,000 a week after all expenses. They can take that home for themselves, or maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000.
Listen, I got to break it on you. I got another caller that I need to get in before news time.
I understand. Take care. Bye.
All right. We'll talk again, I'm sure. We have a WhatsApp caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello? Yeah, we got to figure that WhatsApp thing out. So WhatsApp not working? All right. So I don't know. We either lost them or we're still having bugs in the WhatsApp. We have to check that out. But yeah, as we were talking there with Mickey about the minimum wage, we've gone to $8.75 as of the first of this month. But I mean, while that will increase the payroll for companies who have been paying minimum wage, it doesn't mean that people are going to be bringing home bags of money. And I wonder how much above any kind of poverty line that puts a person at $8.75 an hour. We do have another caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was just listening to the last caller a while because I just tuned in. I hear you guys are on the discussion of animal preservation, I guess.
Well, no, he had made a comparison of the government should be spending more money on things like the Family Resource Center, who offers, programs to help people in their parenting and stuff. That the money should be going there instead of, funding something for red shanks and crabs and such.
Okay, yeah. I see with him too on that. If that what he talking about, I am 100% on his page, because really and truly, when yesterday when we was talking about the education of our children, especially in our marine life, right? It should be that it's no expense too much when it comes into the education of our children. And I made a small post on my Facebook profile asking, not really asking, but it would have been a statement more that I don't think I wouldn't complain if there was like a program where you train fathers, and I'm gonna say this, right? Fathers, the mothers should have that natural instinct. I heard some part with comparing chickens earlier on, and to how they parent and stuff like that. You gotta realize how the roosters parent too. They parent differently from us. So can't completely compare animals with parenting, right? But when it come into how we have fathers that struggle finding jobs because it's more being a woman-dominated workforce nowadays, it's kind of hard to fit in as a man, a father especially, dealing with the children, and having to go out, try to make a few dollars. I've been in that position now for 4 years. My daughter just turned 4 on the 6th. And I think that if there was a program where they would have fathers trained to homeschool children and, be stay-at-home dads and take care of their children in the first couple of years of their life, because it's very important for the father and mother, obviously, to bond with their child. But being that children are more than 90% of the time out of the parents' care at school from a very young age, you'll have behavioral problems, especially when it comes into cultural clashes, when it comes into the teachers themselves. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
So it would be a good idea not to have and encourage everybody to jump on board, but those who are in need of this type of thing. I wouldn't see any reason why anyone would complain about a program like that where the government would fund them money to a program being such, So like your host, your guest that you had, I completely thank her for doing those type of things, because we need them here in the Cayman Islands, especially being that we're like rogue right now in parenting, because 1 minute the government would tell you Child Protection Act or the child has rights and thing, and then afterwards it shoots the parents in the foot to doing anything that the parents supposed to be doing as good parents.
Yeah, well, all those programs are funded by the government. I mean, I don't know how long you were listening, but
I was on and off because I was back and forth.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
My radio playing, so
I know how it goes. But there was a whole list of different programs that they have for parents, including single parents. Because that's the one thing, you go to school and you graduate from high school or even college, but nobody taught you about how to be a parent.
Yeah, you know what?
You kind of get into that on your own, and you're faced with certain situations, and you say, "Oh, well, how do I deal with this?"
Yeah, you know what's teaching me how to be a parent right now? I don't have nobody really tutorial in me, but I'm doing what my parents did when I was growing up. I can remember, like I told you, they have some childhood traumas that really shape children into being respectable and understanding adults. And I think a lot of the old ways, not 100% were right, but they did work.
Well, they did what they knew. They,
Yeah, it didn't kill us, and half of us are a lot stronger than the current generation. So I only 32. I don't know nothing. My birthday is in the next couple of days, so I'm just putting my 2 cents in. I'm no expert.
You're trying your best.
Yeah, and just being a human being.
Well, listen, I got to break away because it's 2 o'clock here at Radio Come On. Thank you for the call. Always good to talk to you. It's news time. Let's see what's making headlines.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Why go here, there, and everywhere? At CUC, they've made it simple. For all your service needs, account questions, or support, their services are online. Visit www.cuc-cayman.com. Really need to see and speak to someone? There's just one place to go. CUC's Customer Service Center is located at Caribbean Plaza on West Bay Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
If you're riding an e-bike or scooter, the rules of the road apply. These devices are treated the same as motor vehicles. You must be at least 17 years old, hold a valid Category 0 or Category 2 driver's license, and your device must be registered, licensed, and insured. You must obey traffic signals, road signs, and road markings, and operate only where permitted by law. These are existing legal requirements. Enforcement begins 16 January.
Radio station.
Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, This is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. LGBTQIA+ advocacy group Colors Caribbean has announced it will discontinue operations. In a public statement, the group thanked supporters and, quote, everyone in our community for their backing over the years. The message was posted alongside a thank you and goodbye graphic carrying the Colors Caribbean logo. In international news, according to the Associated Press, new federal dietary guidelines are urging Americans to eat more whole foods and protein and to cut back sharply on highly processed products and added sugar. The Trump administration's 2025 to 2030 advice highlights vegetables, whole grains, dairy, and, quote, real food sources of protein, while warning against salty and sugary packaged snacks like chips, cookies, and candy. The 10-page document keeps the longstanding cap on saturated fat at 10% of daily calories and says added sugars and artificial sweeteners should be kept to a minimum, guidance that will feed into national nutrition policy and U.S. school meal standards. According to Reuters, Federal Reserve Governor Stephen Miron says he's looking for about 150 basis points of interest rate cuts this year, arguing that underlying inflation is running close to the Fed's 2% target at roughly 2.3%. He told Bloomberg TV that, quote, 1.5 points of easing would support the labor market and is justified by his outlook for inflation. Miron's views align with the most dovish projections in December's Fed forecasts and comes as his term on the board ends on January 31st, while he remains on leave from his role as top economic advisor to President Donald Trump. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The soundtrack to your best memories lives on. Breeze 105.3 FM. From the golden hits of the 70s and 80s. I love you so. To the songs that still move you today. It's the music you know. The music you love. Uplifting mornings. Smooth afternoons. And good vibes all day long. All of my years, I guess I shared it. Don't just listen to the radio. Feel the breeze. Breeze 105.3 FM. Your station. Your music. Your memories.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And the weather forecast for the rest of the day and into the evening is for fair weather, fair skies, and winds out of the east-northeast. at 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas running at 3 to 5 feet. And we're coming down the home stretch here for the day. We got a little bit, about 22 minutes or so left in the show. So you want to get a call in, now's the time to do it. And numbers to call, 1-800-534-8255. That's toll free, courtesy of Flow. You can also call us on 949-8037. 949-8037. And WhatsApp, I know, been kind of buggy today. You can send us a message if you would like, 925-3261. And we've been talking about mainly parenting today. We heard from the Family Resource Center about some of the programs that they offer. And parenting, of course, is quite challenging, and probably in this day and age more challenging than it ever has been. You know, is in the Cayman sense, in the also the international sense, everywhere, because if you look at what kids are having access to, and you know, the influences that children have today is certainly a lot different than what people of my generation, even people of the generation. I'm never sure what do they call it? The millennials and the X generation and the Z and the Y. Yannick, which generation are you? You're what, Gen Z or what? What?
Gen Z? Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Can't even remember right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess millennials, is that how you say it? Yeah. I guess they were born in the early 2000s, or what was that? Or at the turn of the century.
And then you have Generation Alpha.
That's a new one on me.
That's a new one, right? Yeah.
Generation Alpha.
Generation Alpha, yeah.
Oh, we got all these designations now. It's hard to keep up.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, Cayman is so much different than it was just back in the 1980s, 90s. The influences that our children are exposed to are, you know, just even in the physical world, the kind of Cayman that we have is much different. And then you've got that thing called the internet, you know, and the smartphone and the computer, and you know, that reaches them way beyond Cayman, out there into the big bad world. And there's good things out there they can learn on the internet, and there's some bad things also. And of course, parents in the past, back in the 80s, you know, didn't have to contend with that, really. You know, I think back then was just the phone, a hard line phone at that. You know, teenagers, that was a big thing. Nobody else could get on the phone because the teenager was always talking to some other teenager on the phone, right? And the challenges that parents have today are so much more complicated than we ever saw in the past, because, like I said, culturally, Cayman has changed so quickly, so drastically, that the examples that we had growing up in Cayman is the models just don't fit today. You know, what kids see online And not even just online, but we have television. You know, back even in the 80s, television was, well, you had some satellite dishes, and only not everybody had that. That was, a rare thing, really. Not everybody had a satellite dish. We watched tapes, right? But now you got TV coming straight into your home, and children can watch that. A lot of people use the TV as babysitters, and they got that remote, and sometimes the caregiver or the parent, the guardian, get busy doing other things. They do in taking care of this and taking care of that, and what the child is watching is unknown to them, and sometimes it's not necessarily the kind of stuff that you might want to have your child sit down and look at for a half hour and get certain ideas. And then when it comes to the internet, I remember hearing my grandson, listening to stuff. Then I said, you don't listen to that, man. That's the wrong kind of advice you're getting there. And because you talk about influence. I mean, you got people on the internet, YouTube, wherever. And what are they called? Influencers. Their whole objective is to influence people. And whether it's good or not just depends on that individual program that they're listening to. And of course, with all the development that has gone on in Cayman, it's simply not the same kind of environment that a lot of older people, even people that are still relatively young, that might be in their 40s, and they were children in the late 70s and the early 80s. That's where they had their childhood. It's a totally different world now. We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
Yes, how are you doing?
Oh, not bad, sir. Thankful. I'm thankful, Mr. Charlo. God, I think I have a lot more things to thank God for than to feel bad about, to be quite honest.
Well, that's wonderful.
Try to, like, as the church people would say, counting the blessings, I think it's a good thing sometimes.
Counting your blessings one by one?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So many things going on for us. That's wonderful here in the Cayman Islands. And the tourists say it all the time. Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky to be living here. Yes, sir. But I want to speak about a little about the cost of living and that sort of thing. Mr. Charlo, I have seen lately some real serious price increases in different business places. And I'm saying to myself, I wonder if they know what they're doing. I just wonder.
You mean the places up, the prices up?
Yes, sir. And I said, I was talking to one of the staff members. They were like, Actually, in one place they were telling me, oh, since we raised the prices, the people, business went down. Business just went down. And I'm saying to myself, do they really have to put that much on? Maybe not, and make the business survive. And they will still do good with all the business that they're getting. Now, for example, Mr. Charlo, if it's a restaurant now, and someone else starts another restaurant competing with them now, and has just as good or better food, then the other new restaurant will do very well, and that one will probably, I wouldn't even want to say, but maybe crash. Because people in a time like this, people were already counting their change, going to places, restaurants in different places, and, you would see for years people, oh, I'm short 25 cents, I'm short this, I'm short that. So it could never be smart, really, to look at things that way. When you look at rice and you look at certain other things, it's, you put different things in there, vegetables, rice, this, that. It tells you that the prices could be lower. It could be lower, but because of whatever reason, they have the prices up to that height. And I noticed it, and I decided, okay, let me observe. As a matter of fact, I didn't even try to, find out really. I just noticed in quite a couple of different places that business is down in certain places. I remember when I had my little barber shop, and the people, the majority of them had a certain price, and I decided, well, I will take 1/5 off, at least 1/5 less than them, and the people came to my shop. They flocked my shop, and I can remember also working for certain people, and I remember a lot of people, young people especially, were shortchanged, and they were complaining about the prices, and the people that I were working for, Mr. Charlo, decided to make me their supervisor. So you do the supervisor role, and you can adjust prices, and you can do this and you can do that if you want to.
You were setting the prices.
Yes, sir, Mr. Charlo. I was setting the prices, and I was talking to a lot of customers. You got to talk to the customers sometime and find out what they're about and what they think is good. And I took off some things, just simply 50 cents, 25 cents, that it wouldn't hurt the business, but it would help. And
so you were making sure you still covered your costs, though, right?
Yes, sir. On certain popular things, and I don't want to try to brag or boast, Mr. Charlo, but the problem was over with, and the people started to flock the place that, like, you couldn't believe. People were driving across, and they were like looking and saying, "Well, what's all this business about here?" And Mr. Charlo, let me tell you, one thing people don't like, because they just simply can't afford it, is increases, especially sudden and large increases. You know, you can't just jump like that. You know, jump and decide. No, like for example, no some lunch that probably doesn't even taste good already, and you're gonna put on $3 onto that. You know, and it's not healthy or anything like that in the people. And I heard people saying,
But no, if it didn't taste good, people wouldn't want it, right?
No, and then in the Caribbean here, you know, a lot of people, a lot of those construction workers, you know, are very good at cooking. Yeah, you know, they can cook very well. A lot of people can cook very well, and that's what they used to do a lot. But now, because of rushing to work, now some people go and they buy this, they buy that. And not only them, a lot of other people. I have been around the place, Mr. Charles, and I've seen it. People buy sometimes for various reasons. But I heard the complaints, and I've seen it, and I said, geez, Mr. Charles, I would hate to see that business really fail, you know. But according to some workers, it's, you know, things are drying up. Certain places, it's looking pretty bad. I don't think. I think you know, there are times when you can increase your prices, but also not in such a serious way that it would actually frighten the customers, because here in Cayman there's a lot of options. You know, people have a lot of options.
Well, especially if you're eating out, yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, and then it's so I'm looking at some places and I'm saying, boy, you know, it looks terrible. But then again, they're making space for some other business people, because if they do stuff like that, somebody else will come in now and compete with them now.
Well, competition is what it's about, right?
And come up with some serious strategies, better products, better things to offer,
better price,
better prices, and when you know that person grew. I mean, you know, we've seen it here in Cayman for decades. You know, the one that you know, when you get that volume, and you get. I mean, for example, look at Cayman now, Mr. Charlo, as a destination now. You know, if the tourist's going to complain about the prices, that's like the other business people. And the customers complain about the prices. The tourists complain about the prices. Oh, it's so expensive here. I mean, it turns people off. And they just look at your stuff and they say, what's the price of that? And when you tell them how, they're gone. You know, they can probably pay for it, but they just ain't doing it.
They want to part with their money.
Yeah, they look at it as an insult. You know, prices, sometimes you got to be, that's why the Bible says too, you know, blessed are those who consider the poor. Prepare something for the poor people. Prepare a good price. So I'm saying to people right now, start some new businesses and offer some very good prices in different types of businesses and see what happens and see if they won't succeed.
Well, on that note, I'm going to thank you for your call.
Yes, sir.
You have a good afternoon, okay. You hear?
Yes, sir. You too, sir. Okay.
All right. Yeah, well, you know, inflation, it has it's slowed down from you know the figures that have come from the Economics and Statistics Office, but still with us. and how that they figure that inflation. I mean, some of us feel some of those things more than other things. Like in their basket of different things, different expenses. What was it in the last the last quarter or the third quarter of last year? Communications and education went up significantly, whereas other areas, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, some utilities and stuff saw a little dip, and the two of them kind of, canceled each other out, but bringing the inflation down more than what it had been. But not everybody, of course, is going to feel the cost of education in their pocket as other people not having children. And I'm assuming when it said education, they're talking about the cost of education in private schools. So not everybody has children that they have in private schools, so they wouldn't have felt that rise in the price. Whereas everybody, is going to have some kind of utility that they have to pay, right? But hopefully we'll see inflation start to, ease off as time goes by, because everybody's counting on interest rates going down, and that should make, especially if you have any kind of loan with a bank, that should help to leave a couple of bucks in your pocket if we can see interest rates go down. It's 2:30, and that means that's it for me today. Thanks for joining me, and thanks to everybody who's picked up the phone and gave us a call. You have a good afternoon. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.